All right, I think we're live here now. Hello, everyone. This is Aru down here in beautiful New Zealand. It's a beautiful sunny day up here in Whangarei in the northern area, kind of like in the middle top area, probably around about Canada, where Niagara Falls, just a bit lower there, if you're trying to get where we are down here. But thank you for joining us today. We're waiting on Ben Bristol, who's a, super Transformers collector. But in the moment, if he doesn't show up, we have, of course, Stu Bristow from 1.1 gigawatts store over in, it's Gigawatts Comics, Stories, and Nostalgia over in Texas. I think, is it Bolger?
Borger, Texas. Yeah.
Borger.
Yep.
So we,
Borger. Yep.
yeah. Hey, so introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Stuart Blackwelder. I'm here in beautiful Borger, Texas. It's a nice sunny day as well. Hot as all get out. It's about a little over 100 degrees here. And I'm here in my beautiful store, surrounded by all my toys. I always remember back when my first grade teacher asked me what I wanted to do when I grew up, and I told her that I wanted to play with toys when I grew up, and she said I couldn't do that. I said, well, she could see me now.
It is like, it's kind of strange that people try to navigate your life in a way that they think is best for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is cool, because, like, people care about where you go. They want to make sure that you're a part of society in a good way, that that you have a healthy, uh financially secure future.
Right.
And but there is also the part of that where they don't, it's like, if you go, oh, I want to get into art, they go, well, that's not going to make you money. And then you look at someone like Jim Lee, or you look like someone like Jack Kirby, right, way back when, right, create all these characters, especially Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko, right, especially for Marvel. But who are the guys for DC, right? That we should remember the guys for DC who worked there, and who built Justice League first, which then got, kind of like copied, kind of like inspiration for stuff like Avengers and stuff, right? Or those sort of teams that came along.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, talking about, trying to help people, youngsters guide themselves to something, that we feel that is going to be financially stable for them is it's because we've gone through some hard times, on ourselves, and we want to
Yeah.
make sure that they don't go through the times that we do. That was the biggest thing with when I was raising my kids.
Yep.
But on the same token, if somebody would have been able to tell me that, hey, if you stick out this engineering class in
Mm.
high school, or this drafting class and going into engineering,
Yeah.
you might be able to design toys later on.
Right.
Then it would have been like, oh, I didn't know that was a possibility. I had no idea
Yeah.
that was the path to
Yeah.
that profession. You know, and
Yeah.
only recently do I realize, like, well, shoot, yeah, it makes
Mm.
sense. You have to have an engineering degree to design toys because of because of everything that goes into it.
Yeah. I mean, like the chemicals and the vinyl, plastic,
Oh yeah,
uh, and just the artistry behind it. If you're drawing just figures and stuff, you expand on that. I mean, like Hawk, we'll get Hawk in there in here sometimes, just talking about the art of designing toys. But I mean, like, you there is no, I don't know many teachers or even like family members who go, listen, you love this, why don't you learn about this a bit more, but also realize that you will need money. So if you need to, as someone growing up, you would want, you know get find, get a job and so on, but you need to really learn the craft of what you want to do, because you need to find out, the technical aspects of what you're learning and stuff, right?
oh yeah, oh yeah, that's a definite. That's a definite. You know, um, and also parents can't just be blind and say,
Mm.
oh yeah, go ahead and go do that. They need
Right.
to be aware that their child has an actual talent
Yeah.
for what they're pursuing and an actual interest, not a fleeting
Mm.
interest. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I have two boys. One of my boys was very interested in playing video games
Right.
professionally, and the other one wasn't. But out of the two, the one that really wasn't into playing video games professionally
Mm.
probably could have been a professional video game player.
Right.
I try to encourage both of them. I
Mm.
try to encourage, let them know that we need to make sure that we're financially stable as we go forward, and we
Yeah.
don't want as we want to make paths that are going to be that are going to create an income where
Mm.
we don't have to rely on other people, but we also want to pursue things that are going to make us happy too.
Right. And I mean, that's best place for that is if you have, a secure job, right? So if you train yourself to be in a secure job, and then the other thing is if you're in a secure job, you're actually able to get the stuff that you want, right? You're able to pay for the stuff you want. And that way, not only are you happy working because it's providing you something that you love, but you're also secure that you're able to take care of yourself. And I think like for us, like we run Plunge, right? We run this whole, you know, convention. The aim of the convention, because it's a community run event, right? And volunteers run it. I mean, I'm one of the volunteers who run it. And of course, my friends who help me out, and run it as well with me. But the idea has grown from just being like like an independent comic thing to being a pop culture thing where we put people together who've never seen some artwork from the local community. They haven't visited, galleries and this is the first time they see what they're doing there. We've got we've got a paper mill people that that they create real paper, that actually do printing, like Corfi Print Trust, very well known, one of Woods, but people don't even know it's there because it's not in their purview to be there, right? Because I think it might be expensive to go see what's going on there. But they do t-shirt printing, right? They do great artworks, like huge artworks of printed, material onto paper that they've created or they've bought, or like heavy paper from all around the world. And they did prints for us for Incredi-Girl and Red Dot that we were going to sell and kind of like showcase what is there. And so we've been able to bring people in touch with the community and artists, like people that do like actual art in the community. And so now you've got artists who draw anime or do comic books, so people actually get to see, oh wait, what, you can actually make money doing this.
Oh yeah.
Little kids come in and goes, oh, see, this is what I want to do, Mom. I want to be an artist. And they go, well, yeah, you can do that. And the kids go and ask, like, so what's the process? What's it like? I see Shane there, who's my best friend. Like there, young boys, girls just sitting there watching him, draw and stuff, and draw with his hand. And sometimes I see other kids there with digital, But like Shane has actually, does draws on a physical paper, but then he also takes it on board and colors it sometimes on the digitally, right?
Right.
And so kids are able to see that hey, not only can do it on paper, but now you can do it on computer as well. So now you can, if you're a computer into computers, you can draw on computer, kind of thing. So it's taught me a lot. I mean, like I've had to really think what the convention was doing, an aspect of that.
When you even on that aspect, when you're able to draw on a computer or on pencil, the person that's doing it still has to have an artistic eye and has to have that artistic flair. Just because you can draw a character somewhat complete doesn't make you an artist. It's creating those dynamic poses. It's creating a story on a page without any words, and being able to convey something, very, very quickly, without any real words being said, and then the words are just the extra, it's just the dialogue in between the two characters, So but yeah, it's, I mean, it's amazing, you know, what's out there and what you're able to do with technology nowadays.
How about we do a little walk around your store, and we'll give a bit of a change in what we're talking about, and then we'll come back and talk about actual toys, because I'm thinking we've just been talking heads at the moment. Show us what you got there.
Well,
so this is 1 point. Yep.
Let me get out of this really comfortable chair here that I sink into.
Yeah. So this is 1.1 gigahertz, gigawatts. I always say it's gigahertz. Gigawatts comics, toys, and nostalgia in Borgia, Texas.
Yep, gigawatts. Pronounced gigawatts, but that's okay.
Gigawatt.
So if you look behind me right here, this is the USS Flag. The USS Flag from G.I. Joe. It's the largest.
Oh wow!
It's the largest play set ever created. And then I have the USS Defiant and the Cobra Terradrome over there, and I got a hovercraft over there for the whale, and then I got Jabba's sail barge.
Yeah,
right there. Then on the other side of that, I have my comic books laid out. I don't have a ton of comic books, but I have some, mostly just grab bags and grab boxes.
Yeah.
Then I got a little setup over here for somebody that likes to, if you like to do a little bit of video gaming or whatever, I got old school video games set up there.
Nice.
Some of my shelving here. I got some G.I. Joe Lego construction sets, little frames and things like that for the ladies that want to come in here. Action Force miscellaneous action figures I have here. Got some old school wrestlers down there. And then above that, I have some posters. You see them? You see them okay?
Yeah, raise it up higher. Is that like is it? Oh, that's Wonder Woman, right? I thought it was Obelix there for a moment with his blue and whites.
Yep, that's Wonder Woman, and I got Vigo, the Carpathian from Ghostbusters 2. Jaws. Then over here, some of my other stuff, my kind of my movie toys. I got Ghostbusters, Star Wars, Indiana Jones. A little bit of other stuff there. And this over here, got an old school Nintendo Entertainment System.
Hey, what is that poster there?
Which one? This one?
Yeah, the green one.
So that's from Third Empire from Greg Harms. He's another creator here in Borger, and he brought me some prints to sell in the store.
Yeah, we got Greg Harms coming on next week, I think, or in a couple of days.
Yeah. He's a good dude. He's a great guy. So yeah, I got some good stuff here.
Yeah, so guys, if you want to see what Greg Harms, is going to show off and talk about, and like his artwork and styles, jump in. Make sure you got to notify on our Plungecast YouTube channel on his day, so you don't miss out. So make sure you subscribe and like, and we'll try to get you as many guests as possible. All right, carry on.
So yeah, some trade paperbacks that I got, some Mezco toys. Those are high-end toys.
Yeah, man, show me those. Like, I don't have any of that. Like, I look at that and I go, I could buy one of those, and then that will, like, buying one of those will mean that I miss out on about 10 or 20 other ones.
Yeah, but you'll have something really, really nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me open this one real quick. This comes in a lunchbox.
Yeah, I mean, I am going to get one of those one day.
So this was their celebration. They used to do this line called Silent Screamers when Mezco first started.
Yeah,
and one of their first ones was the Count Orlok Nosferatu from the silent film.
Oh wow!
So that's him, and he comes with a bunch of extra stuff. He comes even with a coffin and everything in there.
I mean, they're really detailed. Really detailed high-end quality toys, aren't they?
Yeah, very, very high end, very detailed. They're 1/12
And they're worth it.
scale. Yeah,
They're
they
really
run,
worth it too.
yeah, brand new. They run around $150 to $200. They're really nice, but they're really worth it. Super
Yeah,
detailed.
and like an exchange rates around $280 to $300 New Zealand.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
wow. So then on the bottom shelf, I got some Spawn and some other stuff here.
Well, Spawn's big right now with with the gosh, with McFarlane Toys. I mean, I collect McFarlane Toys, so it is. He's really made a big name for himself, especially during COVID lockdown situations, right? With the Kickstarter he did, it really took off. I mean, he made about 2 point something million on a Spawn #1 re-release. So that was, he is a smart man, I must say. Stuart, Big Stu, you've kind of like um stalled there, so I'm gonna pop out of there and welcome in Hawk Sanders. Hawk he's a very, very close friend of mine, but he's also a publisher writing some comics. And not only that, he is also a toy designer. So you want to introduce yourself there, Hawk, for the toy guys today? You're still muted. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I'm unmuted. Sorry, I was just talking to Benny. He said that he's got to work tonight, but he can do next Thursday night for the
All right.
Transformers thing.
Okay, we'll bring him on with I think um Austin Brooks will be coming on for doing G.I. Joe next week. So, but yeah, cool.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Austin's not doing Batman?
Well, we'll get Austin to do back. Austin can do whatever he wants as long as he brings toys. So carry on. We'll go from here. Introduce yourself.
No, where's Stu go?
Stu got a bit stalled, but he'll be back. So this is solo for you to introduce yourself as a toy guy.
Oh, okay. I'm a G.I. Joe collector. I've got I've been a G.I. Joe collector for a long, long time. That's primarily what I did. I did when I was very, very young. I liked to collect He-Man. I had a little bit of He-Man and all of that. And as going through, and there was just two lines I think that really caught my attention. My mother got at me a whole line of oh gosh, Brave Star. I had everything but Fort Carrion in that.
Yeah.
And I still got a lot of that stuff. I still got a lot of it here. Because I had pretty much everything but Fort Carrion. And loved that. It was very representative of what what was going on. And I've been whenever G.I. Joe came along, I've been a big G.I. Joe fan ever since. Gosh almighty, I think I switched pretty quickly. I even traded all my He-Man for G.I. Joe figures just as fast as I could, because once I found them, it was like, okay, and that was kind of my jam, and I was hooked from there on in. So I don't have a lot of things on display, but I generally try and go to most of the conventions. I generally try and go to, be a part of it. And, as you know, we're helping out with the club, the G.I. Joe club.
Well, I know that, but the audience doesn't know that. So you tell the audience what you're doing with G.I. Joe.
So Rising Sun helps out with the G.I. Joe club, and we actually help produce the kits that go out in the newsletter that goes out, as well as the club comic. We actually help produce that as well. And
this is through Hasbro, right?
Well, I think this is the unofficial club, but it's going to get there soon. It's going to get there soon. Numbers are going, higher and higher. But this is actually a club shirt, but this is from the old club. This is from Fun Publications, and I was a member of Fun Pub since. Oh, I can show you this. Here you go. Here's my membership in Fun Pub. We'll see if this camera.
Is Big Stu a member yet?
Yes, I am.
There we go.
That Stu is a member. So there's my original membership from 95. I think that's 95 or 98. Well,
Yeah.
that one says 2002. I think this sheet says 2002, but they used to send these out to you every year. And that one says 2002. So I was a member, 2002. I think the card is like 98 or so, 98 or 99. But hey, we'll zoom back, and you're going to see all the GI Joe art that's on my walls. These are all posters from years. GI Joe Transformers. There you go, GI Joe Transformers. All my accolades underneath it there, but my GI Joe collection takes the top spot. There's all of my convention tags and tickets.
Wow.
Kind of keep those for mementos. More GI Joe stuff. More GI Joe posters. All the goodness of it all. Just go right on around the horn. Sorry, a little jumbly. There you go. And a bit more on the back walls, but I've had these for years on end, know. And obviously my sword collection, a small sword collection. I used to like to say weaponry, but I don't anymore. And sadly, all of those boxes over there is my GI Joe collection completely boxed up because I don't have the room to show it.
Right.
And that's just kind of the way it goes when you got that big of a collection.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that we suffer from, isn't it? As fans and collectors of toys and and comic books especially. I mean, it all starts with comic books, I guess, and toys. So yeah, I've still got about four containers here. I got to start putting up. I was talking to Stuart, Big Stuart there before about how it's Barbie doll day, right? Barbie doll because of the whole Barbie doll movie, and I pulled out my little Princess Leia, right?
Well, I'll be all right.
Yeah. So why not celebrate Barbie with Princess Leia? The only Barbie that actually is a right person, right? Is actually a properly really rounded, well designed, well crafted character in a movie, that actually is feminine and is mature and is a leader and is so great a character that we all love. But a lot of times, everybody gets into the whole, the slave Leia thing, right? But this is Barbie in her, in a perfect form. This is the way we want to see Barbie, introduced when she, especially Leia, when she comes out, goes, "Who are you?" Kind of thing. Like,
aren't you a little short for a stormtrooper?
Yeah, it's just, awesome, and I love this. This is the only Barbie that is on my shelf. Like I've been getting a whole bunch of Barbie dolls because we want to do. We're looking at. I mean, especially with Hawk's keen on getting Incredi-Girl looking like a doll, like an actual Barbie doll kind of like character. So yesterday I was out shopping. I shouldn't have spent money on this, but you owe me for this, Hawk. You really do, because you told me to get one of these so we can see what we want to do.
I did. Hip bashing. Very important.
So I got it. I honored what you said, but you owe me money for this. So this is miraculous, right? And the reason we got this, or I got this, is because we want to get a toy of our character, right? Incredi-Girl, right? That's her face there. That's Incredi-Girl with her mask and red hair. Because we've been trying to make sure the clothing on it is a suit, right? And now color. Because let me just actually, it's fine. We'll carry on with this. But like our characters, she's got the mask, right? Whereas like on our toy, we don't want the mask to be on her face, like it's painted on here. You can't make her anything else, right? But on our character, we want to have a cloth that comes off. But look at the jumpsuit. It's a two-piece jumpsuit. So it's the shirt here, which this is a really good design. It's a very expensive toy for this. But no gloves though. But we want to just like to have a little, around it, just like mitten would probably be easy way of going about it. So she'd have a mitten on. But this is a beautiful suit, right? And so I'm gonna have to open this up later, and we're gonna have a look at it. But yeah, tell us a bit more about the background of G.I. Joe. We're Kiwis. I know there's a lot of people who collect G.I. Joe, but haven't really not as like in a sense of like, unless I'm sure there's one, a handful around who are really devoted to it. Most of them are just like, part of every other collection, or part of the army set if they're into that sort of background, if their family members are part of them, being in the military or something like that. But like it's kind of we're more towards like superhero kind of thing, comic based, or GI Joe and stuff, and Transformers, or what was the other one I was thinking of? He-Man, because He-Man was big when it came out. My next door neighbor had all the toys. In our house, we didn't always have too much toys because, hey, it was the way it was. But we did have a family, like a family friend who would always bring us great toys, amazing toys. Like it was just, we look forward to those. Like we look forward to Easter, we look forward to Christmas, and we look forward to our birthdays, because that's when we got the toys that we, that was the biggest thing at the time. There was like, if it was the thing that was going right then, that's what we got. And it was like, yeah, amazing. But so what I did when I was thinking about just military was, yesterday I met a gentleman, all right, a friend of ours who actually came to Plunge last year, the year before. I think might have been last year. And but he didn't bring his toys. It had nothing to do with his toys. It had to do with the printing company that he worked for, but which is Jeff Oliver Prints, right? For those who are locally watching. So Stuart, basically, another Stuart, right? He collects 1960s and 1950s toys, army, military toys, right? So these are like little metal things and like things from that era. That's his thing. Oh, yeah. And he was saying about like how he spent a lot of money, like really, sometimes he just shouldn't have spent that much money on these Europe because he's from Europe, but as a kid he had all these toys, and now as a grown-up he's able to afford them and actually buy from people overseas and get these little pieces to add to his collection, and I think there was one he said like it wasn't Europe, but he was going to stand over to another place so it's cheaper, and then family member would bring it back to him, because it's quite expensive, as sending things overseas, especially at this point with the recessions for us here, and and of course inflation, whatever it is. I really don't understand how that all works, so I don't really think too much about it. But I'm just we're earlier on, Stu and I was talking about how being financially secure as an older person, you're able to buy what you loved as a kid and get back that moments of joy. And I think it's kind of like we're talking about about education and kids and stuff, in case you missed that. But I think
Barbie, and to answer that a little bit, I'm going to bring it back to Barbie. Barbie and GI Joe have a connection. They actually do have a connection. All right. In 1958, Ruth Handler, who was head of Mattel at the time, and I believe this is right, guys. I'm not. This is just coming straight out of my brain, so it should be right. We'll see. I could have it wrong. But in 58, Ruth Handler is on a trip over in Europe.
Yes.
And she runs across a doll in a shop. But this isn't
Germany,
any
wasn't
kind
it?
of shop. This is actually a BDSM shop in Germany.
Yeah. Yeah, I that story came out this week. I was listening to it because they're talking about it, right, with Barbie and stuff. This is really cool. Carry on.
So she sees this toy, she sees this thing in there, and it was just a mannequin for like showing off what you could order out of their catalog. Yeah. And then it's like, oh, well, that would be really interesting. I think girls would want to play with that. And I don't know where she got that.
Hold on. I think you got that a bit wrong.
Go ahead.
I think they said something about it being a doll, like there was for gentlemen, right? Like it was like a doll that was sold to gentlemen. But like it was actually it was a doll. It wasn't a physical mannequin.
Yeah, that's the story I heard. It was a doll that was in Germany.
Yeah.
That women would put into their apartments to let people know, or let men know that they were okay with them staying the night without having to say it.
Yeah.
That I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
But anyway, she takes it home, right?
Yeah.
She saw that there was a chance for development. So Ruth
Yeah.
Handler goes on, and she creates Barbie. And Barbie, is she gave it a little more articulation from what I understand, allowed the changing of clothes on their doll.
Mm.
And dolls before that time, there wasn't a whole lot of like licensed branded material. Even the tin toys that you're talking about, those tin stamps, those were pretty much only sold at 5 and dimes, and they were you would order X amount and they would get them in and basically sell through. So there wasn't a whole lot of like licensed material stuff at the time. Barbie is the first time that it really goes large. So when Barbie came out in 59, Barbie was a smash hit. Every girl wanted this doll. Every girl wanted this doll. And Barbie kind of sets the road for the licensing, because every year Barbie had this new collection. So it was like you were getting like a Sears catalog collection. Here's your collection for this year, and basically that little girl could live out mom.
Yeah.
At 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, whatever, 12, 13, 14. They even played with them much later up in life than we do today. Today's society puts too much grip on kids. But
I have let me just talk about the older generation. So way back in about maybe 2000ish, a friend of ours, she's from America, right? And she's married to a Kiwi, and so she's here, and she's got kids. She's got Kiwi kids, and she's got a young girl, right, Liz, and Liz is probably about 12, 13. She's got her collection of Barbies, like lots. Like this is the first time I've seen actual lots of Barbies, all in boxes, tidy. They take it out, whatever, and then they put it back in. So, but her mom, right? She's she got and she's got her collection as well, right? So this is someone in her 40s, probably going in 45, 50ish. This is like 20 odd years ago, right, for me. So not only is the mum a Barbie fan and a collector because she's from America, right? So that's it. As you said, girls over there hooked onto it quite early. But also now she's giving her Kiwi kid, right? Because she's a Kiwi. The young one now is born in New Zealand, and but with an American mom. So her American mom is inspiring her to get into that sort of side of things. Whereas we don't usually push Barbie as much, and so it's kind of a bit different. But there you go. There's that age gap. But yeah, difference between Kiwis and Americans.
Well, let me bridge the gap from Barbie to G.I. Joe. What had happened is the person that designed G.I. Joe saw his son playing with the male Barbie dolls. Instead of playing house, he was playing soldier or cops and robbers or having some sort of adventure. So he decided to make the same type of figure with more articulation, but had the same play, had the same idea of being able to buy, instead of buying a different figure every time, buying new clothes for the one figure that you had already bought.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest thing with G.I. Joe. That was the gap. So G.I. Joe collectors have a huge respect for Barbie. We may not have when we were kids, but nowadays we understand, because G.I. Joe probably wouldn't have existed the way we know it if Barbie didn't exist in her time.
So G.I. Joe hit in the summer of '64.
Yeah,
right. 5 years later.
5 years after Barbie had hit. Barbie had come out, saw that Barbie was a smash. And that's actually this logo here on the chest is the original G.I. Joe logo from '64. And it was a runoff hit for Hasbro as well. There's a lot of people involved, and
So G.I. Joe is Hasbro, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, and then you got Mattel, and cool. Okay, so basically two competing companies are coming up with, like, one's for the females and one's for the males.
Yep.
For the young ones. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And Mattel had always been a toy company. They had actually produced several toys prior to that. But Barbie's the first time that they really kind of knock it out of the park. So they had several toys before then. I think Hot Wheels was after Barbie. I think Hot Wheels was after Barbie. I think Hot Wheels was 68, actually.
Yeah, it was after G.I. Joe.
You know. But Hasbro didn't have a lot of success before G.I. Joe. Before that it was a pencil and comic and coloring book company. It made pencils and coloring books. That's what they produced.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny because you have the gentleman that's going to be on here if he makes it, the big Transformer guy. What's his name? Ben. He's the big Transformer.
He's going to be on next week. Hawk was just saying that he'll join us next week, so that'll be cool.
But the big gap, the big bridge between G.I. Joe and Transformers is when Japan got a hold of the G.I. Joe toys.
Right.
They weren't good. They weren't just satisfied with having a soldier. The soldier morphed into a robot, and then that robot morphed into something that transformed into a vehicle or whatnot, which created the first set of Transformers in Japan. And then Hasbro comes around 40 years later and buys Transformers back. So, you wouldn't even have, you come back and you wouldn't have Transformers without Barbie, without G.I. Joe.
Wasn't it
out on Transformers?
Wasn't that Robotech that they were doing there? Is it Robotech or something?
Actually, it was Microman. Is that what it was?
Microman or something? I don't remember what it was, but I just know that they were knockoff G.I. Joes because Hasbro had the way to protect their licensing was to reverse the thumb on the hand. So, but they know that Japan had them because of that, and Japan just morphed them into a robot or like and it became a Transformer of some kind. Yeah. And I think in all honesty, it probably birthed all of that stuff. Birthed the Robotech, GoBots, Transformers, Power Rangers. I mean, it probably birthed everything at some point in that, from that chain of events. So it was pretty neat.
It is pretty neat. I mean, seeing how like the history of how toys, inspired each other and each company, and then getting to where we are now. I mean, like I'm looking at this figure that I said I was going to put together. Right, we'll put that together soon. But from McFarlane Toys, McFarlane Toys is like well recognized for quality right now, but cheap toys at quality movement and stuff. You know, and we're talking about movement. I mean, detail, right? Real detail.
Oh yeah, super detailed.
Like even the toes, toe part moves up and down.
Yeah.
I was thinking last night.
Old school toy biz.
Yeah, I was thinking like, if this was something I'd got into, I'd create my own little toy company, just like McFarlane. If I had the money, right? If I could raise $1 million, I'd create my own New Zealand-based toy company, right? And we put out like this thing where we'd like offer it to like toy people, like comic piece people, right? And go, if you have a character, we'll do like a short run characters off you, right? And we'd help the indie company, and we'll just go, you have to be indie. This is how much you have to be doing, and that's it. And we'd be able to make a whole run of toys just for indie creators.
With the advent of the 3D printer, man, it's not hard to create your own little toy company. It's just finding that beautiful price point versus your labor. And that's where it becomes difficult.
Well, I think in time, just like with everything else, the equipment will get cheaper, but they'll also the quality of the material will get better, and the actual design finishings for those machines will be better as well. So you're probably looking at 5 to 10 years where you're able to buy really huge machines that will have the quality and the finishing on it that'll be so perfect. We did a 3D printing of of Incredi-Girl, but we had to sand it down, get rid of all the sharp edges and stuff, and then you got to get someone to paint it and stuff. But I reckon it could get to a point where the 3D printer not only does these great figures, but it'll also airbrush, right, all the colors on as well. I mean, technology is growing so fast, and especially with AI learning and stuff right now, I think we're not too far away. They reckon 3 years is all that's going to take for AIs to be able to take. If we don't adapt, they'll be taking jobs. So you got to be adapting. But the thing about this, for what we are, right, as fans of, as comic book people, right, you're selling comic books, we're creating comic books, right, and of course, Hawk is publishing comic books as well as writing and doing the artwork, and so we're in the business of tactile material. We're not in the business of like digital only. We're in the stuff that you can hold in your hand, that you can smell and open up, and you're invited into this whole new world. What toys do, right? You open up your pack, and I got these as well, by the way, this week.
Oh, nice.
These 5-inch? I can't tell what these ones are, but I think they're 5-inch.
Yeah,
little figures, and then you've also got this 3¼ inch or 4-inch, whatever, right? So we're looking.
And to piggyback on that, Aru, so since we do these tangible things that you can open up and look at and smell, for our new wrestling line, we're going to come complete with wrestling smell on it,
right?
I
mean, it's not so much the wrestling smell. You'd want the clothing to be able to, I don't know, like maybe you want the clothing to rip,
That'd be cool.
You sort of like, or the hair to fall out, but it goes back in. If you, like, especially if you like, you're playing with certain dolls, right? But I think the whole idea is that we're able to get more crafty, more imaginative as the technology grows,
Oh yeah, definitely. And kind of throwing back to the 3D printing thing, the cost of analysis. You can take a page out of these guys that do have the 3D printers that are 3D printing the vehicles for 6-inch figures. And what they do is they print out they print out the vehicle, and they can sell that vehicle to you, or for lesser money, you can buy the file from them.
Right.
Buy the the opportunity to use the file to create your own, your own 3D, a 3D figure or 3D whatnot. And with technology, there's always ways to protect your licensing if somebody copies that file from the other guy.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking late. I didn't even think about it, but like when we did our first year of plunge, which was 2019, because we worked all that time, the last 5 years, with our local library, right?
Right.
And Glenn there, basically, I gave him a file that you're saying, a STL file of water and fire of is it Avatar? Yeah, Avatar Firebender, right? I think it was Avatar or Pokemon or something. Fire and water chess set printouts, and he printed them. Right? He printed them and he showed them off at the event. He said, "Hey, this is what you can do. This is what we have a 3D printer at the library for a little fee. You can actually get your whatever file you have, come and get it printed." And that printer works every day, except for when it breaks down. But for that 5 years that I've known him, has been there printing stuff.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. That's pretty cool. So
do you guys want to show off your toys? I mean, we just saw the mate. Oh, dude, you missed out, Hawk, on the. Oh, you already saw it physically, right? You were at the store the other week.
He gets to hang out with me.
I go over there and mess with it all the time.
Right, man. The Defiant's still on sale for you, man. It's ready to go home with you. You might want to hit it soon. It might go up in price soon. Did you want to look? Did you want to look at my last 2 rooms over here?
Yeah, show that off. I'm just going to look for the for the Batman part.
Tonight I'm drinking Angry Orchard.
Angry Orchard is so good. So this is my 80s nostalgia room. If you can.
I think we paused. I think we're stuck. We're stuck at the minute.
All right. Let me.
We're frozen.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about Hook until he gets right?
Yeah, not a problem. So you can pick these up in the local local thing. Angry Orchard, crisp apple. It's nice and has a little bit of a sour note. Sweet hits your tongue, and then a sour note after it. Not too bad. So fairly moderate, fairly cheap. So out of curiosity, as we're talking and Stu's trying to get reconnected, Aru, can you care to take a guess what the first licensed toy was? I think Aru's on mute.
Giving me technical issues as well.
First licensed toy, what do you think it is?
Would it be Superman, Batman?
Nope, not Superman, Batman.
Okay. First license.
The first licensed toy ever was Peter Rabbit in 1908. When Peter Rabbit, the books came out, they were very popular, and there was a license bought so that they could sell stuffed plush animals of Peter Rabbit. And that was the very first licensing deal they had. Since then, there's been some others. Probably the biggest one that had happened was Raggedy Ann and Andy, as they were very popular in 1918.
I actually saw Raggedy Andy the other week.
And then
it wasn't an old figure; it was a more recent figure, but the design was,
And then Shirley Temple in the 30s. There was Hopalong Cassidy's Gun in the 50s, as well as Lassie Dog in the 50s, and of course there was Archie, licensed material along the way as well. So a little bit of everything to get you there through your licensing hop onto Barbie. Barbie is the first big one coming in as far as that. I think even Flubber may have been not quite as big as Barbie was. So we're talking about my collection of my stuff. Oh, I've got this. This is something really that I keep right here because I like to keep it right here. All right, here we go. This is a 1992 Roadblock. There he is. Right. 1992 Roadblock. I kind of keep him in my close to my computer here. But this one actually came with a recalled part. They're kind of sought after now because the part was recalled because of safety reasons. So this figure was actually a little harder to get. So that's one of them. And then the other thing I want to show you.
No, the question here is that do you have that recall figure?
Yes, that is the recall figure.
Oh, okay. I know. I mean, like that part.
Yeah, I've got it put up, but I kept the figure here. They re-released the figure later on, and here we go. I'm going to show you guys this. This is a fun little thing that I picked up along the way that I think you're going to be super excited to see.
Sorry about that, guys.
That's okay.
All right, I'm going to show this, and this.
Hold on.
This is actually a recast, but this is a recast. I don't know if we can see that. Let's see if it'll focus.
Put your hand behind it.
Maybe too bright.
Yeah, there you go. Go back a bit. Yeah, that's good.
So you're missing a lot of detail on them, but this is actually a recast of the Ninja Commandos Storm Shadow.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I keep that in my desk drawer right there too.
What do you mean by a recast?
So this is an unproduced figure. This figure was supposed to come out, and it never hit market. They say that there was about 10,000 production run done, and I have seen some samples show up, but this one I believe was a recast done by. I want to say this is Alyosha. I think this might be Alyosha.
Right.
But it's a figure that I've been wanting to paint, and so I just kind of keep it right there. to get a good idea of what this Storm Shadow from Ninja Commandos kind of looked like. There you go.
That's pretty cool, man.
Oh, thank you. I've got a few of these laying around. All right, so we missed the 80s bedroom.
So
we got to go back to the 80s bedroom.
So
I think it's got to do with like lack of the Wi-Fi not reaching far enough. Maybe that's probably the issue there.
No, what it is well, I was on my laptop and I don't know what it was. I mean, it's the only time it's ever gone out like that.
Right.
So, but when I'm staying still, it was okay. So I went ahead and got onto my iPhone. That's what I should have just done in the first place.
Yeah.
So here's my 80s room. I'm going to turn the phone. I can't flip the camera for some reason. All right. Or I'm too stupid to figure out how to do it. But
okay, let's see it.
80s room.
Oh, hold on. Let me put you on solo.
Okay.
Yep.
And that Street Fighter video game is fun.
Oh, yeah.
Are we getting you solo? There we go. Look at that.
Yep. And then my DVDs. VHS. You know, my TV and stuff. A little bit of He-Man.
He-Man.
Some Boglins. In the box. In the box. Can you see it? The Nintendo control deck.
And as Simon says, right on top.
Yeah, that's what it's called. I forgot. We used to have one of those.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when they first came out, I think that was one of the gifts we got.
Then
might have been my sister who got it.
Oh yeah.
So what are those in the wall?
This is a newer one that I got it. It was a more recent one. And then my Hot Wheels. And of course my leg lamp.
You got the big one and the mini.
Yep, and the vintage radio. So, and then my turtles.
Yeah.
And the Ewok Village.
Oh, that's what right.
Of course. And then I got Rick Sanchez.
Rick Sanchez.
Rick Sanchez.
But I don't know. They, I think you need a major award for that. A major award.
It came all the way from Italy.
Really? Like the Ewok.
Yeah, it said Fragile on it.
Wow.
So here's some of the He-Man I picked up the other day. Guy came in and traded these in. Now for the G.I. Joe room. You ready for the G.I. Joe room? A little drum roll, please.
Yep, let's see it.
All right. Here's the G.I. Joe room to start. Got some fun. What is it? Fun School. Still in the boxes. Still in the packages. Some of the 6 scale figures. This is a offshoots figure Storm Shadow. These are some of my personal ones that I keep on display here.
Yeah.
Just a handful of personal ones. My Cobra Rattlers.
I didn't realize that there were such large figures for G.I. Joe. When I saw that, like when you showed the flag, I was like, when you said, "Oh, here's the flag," I thought you meant like the flag, right? Like the wavy flag. But when you showed it, when you showed off that right at the start of the show, when you showed off that huge ship, I was like, so that's what he means. And I'm just like godsmacked that like they created such a large toy. Like seriously.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Wow. I mean, that was the whole the whole thing is that let all of these things, it's all a play pattern,
Yeah.
We're gonna round back out to that soon because
we'll have to.
I think
Super Seven is
gonna beat them, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
Some of the other stuff I have, I got the Bug. This is a great toy. And then I got some of some Thunder Machines.
Yeah.
These are pretty cool. I picked these up in a collection when I bought the USS Flag, and this chroming on it usually gets really faded out, and it's almost like it's just came out of the box. They're really.
Can you go up closer to it so we can see it?
You see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
when did those come out?
These ones came out in the vacuum chromed ones came out in like '89, I believe.
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah. And then some of the newer figures, the classified figures, some of the ones from my personal collection that I'm selling.
Yeah.
You know, and then this is pretty cool. You like this? It's this whole setup. This is the Sky Striker from the HasLab project.
Right.
That they released. It's a
wow.
It just came out. It's the newest. It's the newest Sky Striker.
Right.
Came out with. Yeah, and then can you hear me?
Yeah. You're good.
Okay, my headphones rang.
Yeah.
And then these are all vintage figures inside in packaging, reproduction packaging.
Yeah.
So, but they're all vintage figures. All super clean, super minty. So you can see it okay.
So are these like re-releases, like a current re-releases of old figures designs?
No, the ones that I just showed you, these little ones right here that I just showed you. Pull it out. This guy is from 1983. The figure's from 1983, but he's on a new package. The package is reproduced. Right?
Oh.
Yeah, so
interesting.
They took time. The guy that I got them from took time to find super clean, super mint figures.
Right.
So that he could put them on the packaging and they would be, they would look very good. These are if you want to have that that unopened look without the unopened price.
Right. Right.
And then here's Galactus. Do you know who Galactus is? I
hope
so. You're a comic guy.
Yeah.
So here's.
Of course. I saw a bit of it before, but I wanted to get back to it. But yeah, how big is that Galactus?
He is about 32 inches tall, I believe.
It's about 80 centimeters.
Well, I don't know. About 32 inches tall. I guess 80 centimeters. I'm not sure.
Yeah, almost a meter. That is huge. Yeah, it's up to my hip, I reckon.
Yeah, he's huge. Yeah, he's a big.
How'd you get that?
That's from HasLab. So you fund the project, and as long as they make it, you get the figure. So that's how that worked.
That's something that I've been thinking about ourselves for, like, our Rising Sun comics, something to do for our Rising Sun comic stuff, right? Like when you've got like characters that you've built up all these things off, what would be cool to just say, hey, look, we're going to put this figure out and this is how much it's going to cost. And if you guys back us, we'll be able to make 100 unique figures. And I think that's somewhere I'm going to go with this idea I have to do an action figure for Incredi-Girl, right? Yeah, so that's where I'd want to go with my next thought pattern for Kickstarter, because I think the joy of the current technology and market and people just wanting unique items, right? It's become so specialized and so open now, right? It's like an open border in the real sense, of a proper sense, where people all across the world are able to take part in something great like that, to support people all over the world who don't have the finances to create something unique, like a figure, right? And I think that's pretty cool. I mean, I would like to create a Incredi-Girl figure that comes in 4 parts, right? Of 4 parts, and you could put together. So let me just do this, and then I'll show you something really special.
Okay.
So now I bought this part here of another toy person. So if I can find the other figure, I've already put it in. Sorry, I was looking for this thing. So I was fiddling around while you're doing that while talking. But so this little figure here, this part here, right? I had to actually get it from another person, because to buy that.
Pull your screen up so we can see it. I can't quite see it.
right. So there we go. So I had to buy the torso, right? This part here, which I didn't know. I thought it only came like this, that you only saw this face, but you also get the back of it, which is Batman. So this is called a, I think it's called a Joker bot. So this comes as part of, right? So this comes as part of this, Batman multiverse, from Batman Beyond series. So you got to go get about, let me see, 4 different pieces just to make that one up, right? So it looks like that,
right,
when it comes together. And there you go. So that's all. But so that's like, for me, I had to pay out $100 for this for 4 figures. Actually, no, $60 because I got the 3 figures. So I bought this from another person, local, by chance, that she had the Jason Todd read Batman Beyond that came with it, because they did a Batman Beyond on its own, which I have around here somewhere, right? And so then they did a part of a series where you could buy them and get this piece. So this piece, the main piece, right, comes with Batman Beyond, the title character. So I paid $20 just for this lot. I think that would be around about $15 or $12 US, right? And which came with these 2 pieces. So you got this, which goes in the shoulder here. So you put it like this, because one side's rounded, one side's sharp. So the sharp end is where you put the hand part in. So this is a armored hand with the gun and everything, with a cyborg looking robot thing. So now I want the Joker one to be if I do it, the Joker's got to have the left hand, right? And Batman, I've got lots of Batman, so I want to display the Joker rather than Batman. So you can basically, you can put it on the right, put this on the right hand and the Batman, and you'll have Batman with the right hand. But I'm going for the Joker, so I've got the left hand on the left side of Joker. So I'm going to put it. So this is the piece. So you get that piece, goes in there, and then you shove this round piece in. There we go. This round piece into here, and I think I might have the wrong end. This is not going to be good if I can't get in there. Let me just. Let's hope I get it in long enough. No, I think it. Right. So that's pretty interesting. I'll just see if this is what this is, because the weird thing here is, like, I didn't realize that they were different, but let me see. Or this is supposed to be only on one side. Here we go. These things, man, like, let me get rid of that. So I've changed the ones around, so I'm going to see if it'll fit in or not. No. There's a bit of a tight fit. There we go. So actually, it seems to fit without this, right? So maybe, yeah, it's kind of weird, but it seems to fit without that. So there. So as you can see, this is the cool thing about McFarlane Toys, right? You not only do you have the price point, right? They can go from about $30 New Zealand, maybe even $25 New Zealand, depending on what it is, up to about $100 or $50 or something, because a detail, size, special things like the Gold Series or something they put out. I know that friggin' like the Spawn ones, they cost so much, man. Spawns are the most detailed, so they cost so much. So let me put that in there, make sure that goes in right. So there you go. So there's your 2 hands. And that's what I was going to mention, is like this basically turns around, right? So you can actually kind of like wants to pop out too easily.
Hold on a second, guys. I got somebody knocking on my door. Hold on.
Yeah, you carry on. So now we've got the legs, right? See, you got the torso as well. So this comes with a torso. So you can, of course, you got the rounded butt at the back, but there's this little thing here, right? So it's a front, so it fits in there. So you put the pants on, basically, I guess, or the shorts, whatever you want to call it. On goes the legs. Bit of a tough nut, but it's there. And the next one, and there we have it. I'm kind of thinking about this. It's like it keeps popping out. I'm not sure if it's because it's on the wrong hand, but I'll
It
pop
could
it.
be. Try switching it around.
Yeah, I'm going to try that because it shouldn't have to pop out like that, right? What was that one of that one? Both seem to be the same. I'm not sure why. Maybe they want Batman to have the metal arm, the gun hand. So maybe I won't get Joker to have the gun hand, but come on.
Apparently, I'm a fan with the local police here. They want to come in and look at my stuff. Say hi to our customer here.
They're more than welcome to join us on the podcast.
Right.
Let's see that.
Yeah, actually say hello. We love our military. Not military, our police. They're there to protect us. Right?
Yeah, yes.
The good ones. The good ones are there to protect us. Hello from New Zealand, sir.
Hello from New Zealand. Very cool. Very cool. He says very cool. I'm on the headphones. He can't really hear you. Only I can hear you right now.
Cool.
But
yeah. Thank you for your service.
He said he wanted to come in and look at some G.I. Joe classifieds, and me being a astute businessman says, yes, come on in and look at some G.I. Joe classifieds.
Exactly.
So
why not?
I think we just got the Joker bot together.
Almost,
did you?
Almost. But I've had to change that. The weird thing is I don't know what these are for, but I might have to find out why it's not letting me go. But I'm gonna have to have even though I wanted the Joker bot to be the one that is the main character, I'm gonna end up with Batman being the main character, which is not what I wanted.
Right. Well, what about the hands? Can the hands be transposed? Not the arms, but the hands itself.
No, because they're two different. I don't think they could come off the wrist there.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's the elbow. Sorry, my bad. Elbow there. So I guess you got to have Batman.
Well, get some boiling water.
Well, I just realized I could twist the head around. The most simplest thing I could do. Right.
Go.
And yeah. Oh, let me just put on so you can see the final piece. Let me put on solo.
Okay.
All right. Is it coming? Are you coming? There we go.
All right. Well done, Aru. Good job.
Okay. I'm going to show you the size difference, right, between the normal one and this one.
Okay.
Because you remember with the Marvel Legends, they're very big, right? Once you put them together. So this is a size difference. Well, the chair. This is a size difference between the two.
Wow, it's towering over it.
Yeah, it's huge.
Oh, sorry. Let me get close. I'm trying to get the right level. Let me put on Miraculous. And hold it there so you can see it the right size. There we go. That's exactly the size it is.
Wow, yeah. Towering over. 3 heads taller.
Give me just a minute, guys. Are you all finished? Or is that everything?
No, you're good, Aru. I mean, you're good, Stu. Go for it.
Yeah. All right, let's get back to the store. Yeah. So, did they buy anything? Is what I want to know.
I think they are. He's working on the transaction right now.
He's buying something now. I just gotta working on the transactions. I'm gonna put you on mute for a minute.
That's fine.
I'll get back with you. Okay.
That's perfect. I mean, I was earlier on. We were talking about off air, right? Off air before we got on about military and stuff like that, and just the fact that good cops really do a good job. In anything, right? In any any group that you've got a large number of people, even in churches, right? I've been in even the good churches, the perfect churches, and I've been in a few, right? There's always a rotten apple in there, right? And usually, if you don't get rid of the rotten apple, even in a religious setting, it can harm and breed out into the rest. So I think it's a tough place for like everybody thinking that cops are bad because one or two do something bad, right? And they think everybody. But I think at the core of anything, and that's in a service, in a civil service kind of situations or protecting military wise, whatever, 99.9% are good, and that one person that does something bad is ruins it for everybody. And I think, I mean, we're talking about toys, but like, I think sometimes people forget that they're just human. And
well, I think that's also psychological. You talk about 99% being, being good. I think everyone would tell you that they were good or that they think they're a good person. In the middle of it, even those people that may be doing, very heinous and dark things, they would still say that they were good and they were right, by their approach. Let's ask Hannibal Lecter. Let's get him on.
Yeah, right.
So it's about understanding that there has to be, when your actions start harming or causing issues for other people. And that goes for everyone in society, not just those, but also police, firefighters, officials, everything.
Yeah, everything.
It all has to be looked through that kind of lens, I would think. But that's super political, and we're talking about toys. So we're not
going to. I mean, I just thought of bringing it up because we've got a nice gentlemen, serving the community coming in to buy toys. That's why I brought it up.
That's right.
Because they deserve all the grateful, thanks for their service because they're the ones who on the front line, right?
We got to rope him in to coming onto this podcast to show off his toy collection.
Yeah, that would be cool, wouldn't it? Probably not right now, but on his day off, whatever, come in and talk about him as doing his job, his professional work, but actually collecting toys.
I can see it now. He set up his collection. He comes sliding in there in the cop car with the sirens on.
That would be awesome.
Hold on. This is my toy collection.
I forgot. I just realized I'm looking and I forgot the wings.
Oh, yeah, you did forget the wings.
Right.
Plug them on.
Let me see. I wonder if they're like the right side, left side. Can't really tell. Where's the box? Where did I put the box? It's down here.
Here's our serviceman right here.
So I'm back real quick. I just want to show.
All right, hold on. Let me put you on solo.
Hey guys, how are y'all?
Hey, we're good. We're good.
Good.
So I give good discounts to the border police. They come in.
Brilliant. Yeah, put the word out. You get to talk to people from New Zealand as a cop.
Very cool.
So he's buying a classified bazooka and a print of the USS Flag box cover.
Oh, nice! Yeah. I got that print from. Yeah, that's an amazing print. So are those the ones that Carson Metaxas had done?
Yeah, from 3D Joe's.
Yeah, Carson. Those are a beautiful job on those. Amazing. Yeah.
So I have one. I have one that I have one that's in the protector and everything hanging up over there in the GI Joe area. Right. So
very nice.
He's gonna purchase that. So, well, let me let you go, man.
Okay. Hold on. Wait. Stuart. One sec. Yeah. While you've got the officer there, I just want to show the officer something. So I'm, as you know, born in Fiji, came to New Zealand when I was 7. So Fiji, if you don't know, is a little island in the South Pacific, right? I'm probably a 3rd or 5th generation Indian from India, right? But here I'm in New Zealand, got my family, everybody, I've got a mixed family. So I'm a fan of this character, Punisher, from probably about 20 odd years, right? Very expensive toys. I am pissed
Pull your screen
with what they have done to this character recently because of the skull. I have stickers. I have T-shirts of this skull.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have posters of this character with
But
the
yeah,
skull.
is that the new one? And that's
Yeah,
the new one
what
next
they
to it?
have done, right? What they have done has really made me angry, and I've stopped buying the toys, and I've stopped buying the.
What did they do? Educate me.
They
I don't
they
know what they.
because of their freaking leanings, they said this represents the right wing. It doesn't represent anything good, so they got rid of it. And I'm like, do I look like a right wing person to you or a left wing?
Well, they put
I
that.
love this character.
Kind of got
right?
adopted by everybody when Chris Kyle and his guys in the Navy SEALs had it on their
Exactly.
flags and stickers when they were over in Afghanistan and Iraq. So
Right.
they called themselves the Punishers. So a lot of people adopted it after the movie came out and everything.
Yeah.
So.
But like I got into it before the movie came out, right? All of us who love this character, buy the books, all that stuff. This whole idea of changing crap around for the modern audience pisses me off, man. But I love my toys. Like this guy is pretty expensive because this is actually almost as a violent vinyl clothing, right?
Is that the Thomas Jane one?
Yeah. Look at him. Isn't it amazing, man? Like this is, you know,
it's
like
very
even
nice.
my friends, right?
We better let our officer go. It looks like he's getting calls. He's got to go.
Yeah.
He's got to go.
Thank you for your service. Yeah, man.
Well, we do got to let him go because he apparently forgot his wallet.
Yeah, it's at the PD. So
Oh no!
it's nice talking to you guys.
Okay.
There's someone on the loose with your wallet out there. Go solve this case.
Awesome. All right, so I'm going to put the wings on so we can carry on with stuff. But I'm trying to figure out which side it goes because if you look at this wing, right? So one side has got the short little piece, and one side's got this big long piece, right? So you got short piece and long piece. Now I got to get the box. Come here, box. It's weird. Like it's really hard to tell. Is it me or is it hard to tell which side goes which?
See,
I can barely see it.
No. I think one side just plugs on one side. How many wings do you have? Just one?
Oh, there's two wings, right? So there's two wings.
Yeah.
But the deal here is it looks like this. So you've got
one side is going to be the right hand side. That's your right.
Yeah, but this got like that. So right hand side. Okay, let's try this. Yes. Yeah, you're right. This is the right hand side. Okay. But does it just have that, or does it have that other black piece on it? What I'm trying to figure out, because maybe it does have the black. This is for the black piece. You know, the rounded stuff I was telling you about?
Yep, that was the one. That's where it goes. I kind of saw that earlier. Wondered if that was the case.
All right. The question is, where are they gone?
I'm re-signing into the computer so I can.
Yeah. Hey, Hawk. I think we've got someone. Oh no, it's just big. Oh yes, we do. We have two big. Do I have two big stews?
You do.
Yep. Yeah, we got two big stews.
You got double the stew.
Yep. All right. So I want to get out of this, and we'll get back into. Do you have a toy to open up today, Hawk?
Me?
Since you came in late. Yeah. Or do we need to get or shall I open up a piece while I finish putting this on?
I don't want to open them. I could show them off. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, why not?
I can show off something I got. But
cool.
All right, give me just. I'll show something I got. I've been looking for.
What have I done? I'm trying to figure out where I put the round ends. This is so funny, yes, because I had it here right in front of me just now, and just now it's gone. Sorry, guys. Apologies, as right. But yeah. Hey, so if you're just watching us for the first time, please leave a like or subscribe, because to be honest, you know, we're just starting out. We really want to reach a bigger audience with our content. The cool thing about this is that it's not the cool thing, but it is the thing, right? That we are people who want to inspire the independent comic community, the creators out there, the artists, the writers, the guys who are out there self-publishing and stuff like that. And us at Rising Sun Comics, and with Hawk, and us down here in New Zealand with Plunge Studios, New Zealand, we're putting our own comics right now on Kickstarter. So if you can please jump on there, have a look at our there's a link there, right? There's a link here right now on the screen, in the chat, I guess, on YouTube. Please, click on it. We've only got another 11 odd days to go. I think it's 11 or 12 days to go for our to meet our goal. It's only asking for another couple of $100 to meet that goal, but by meeting that goal, right, by getting that 100%, it's going to put us up in the algorithm because it means it's successful. So I've been trying really hard to to promote this book, because once this book is promoted, we have a whole lot of books coming out. We want to be able to bring out our own creations, like especially from here, right down here in New Zealand. I want to see this character, right? The joke is, can Kiwis fly? Well, this is a Kiwi character, and I'm hoping that you guys will support her, and we can put a book out, and you can help us reach the goal. So there's some special, unique things coming out for it on the stretch goals and stuff. At the end here, I want to get Hawk to talk about it and finishing, but please check us out on Kickstarter right now. Incredi-Girl #1. Gathering of the 5 as its #1. There's another 5 more books after this, but not only this one. This is I think this is our second or the only one that we do, for all ages. There's 2 things that we do for all ages. One's a bit more satire and political with teddy bears and stuff, but this is an all ages, full color, guys. Comic book with variant covers from about 3-4 different artists, and just we'd love your support. All right, so let's put we've got Stu back here, or have we lost Stu? Let me see. All right, he's back on the laptop. I'm just gonna wait for him to come back on. There we go, and add to stream.
Sorry about that, guys. My phone was dying.
Yeah,
no worries. Stu, you're that's turning out to be like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, but for toy collecting.
Heck yeah, man. This is what he picked up today. He's going to pick up today.
Yeah,
and he was just like excited. And then I nearly sold him on the Action Force mail away figure that I got for the action points. If you so he's thinking about that one as well. So hopefully it'll be a nice little evening, little stipend to my evening.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Well, I mean, comic stores are a haven, right? For the imaginative people. Like, what the other thing you got to do is add a drawing table, right? Oh, sorry, a gaming table where 4 people seating. That bring in kids coming in, talking, hey, are you into trading cards and all that? Would you like to come in here and play some trading card games? That add in a couple manga books, you got it made.
Oh yeah.
Right. The biggest thing right now is Demon Slayer, Chainsaw Man, who was it? Not Pokemon, because everybody's got Pokemon, right? But those 2 seems to be really taking off. But they'll tell you what they want, and you got it going on after that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking at getting some Magic cards the other day.
Yeah.
And I was flabbergasted on how expensive those things are.
Here's what you should do.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to tell you something that you should do.
Yes, sir.
Support the New Zealand one, which is the fastest growing one in the world.
Okay.
And I'll tell you which one it is. We ourselves have promoted it at our event. Flesh and Blood. Right?
Flesh and Blood?
Flesh and Blood. This is a New Zealand created game by a couple of people who decided to do it in Auckland. Now it's put up by it's Fab TCG, right? If you can see that, let me just put on solo just so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. The artwork is amazing. Artwork is by some of the most brilliant fantasy artists in the world. There's a website. Now, I'm always backing anything that's got to do with New Zealand, but this one here, they have world tournaments in LA and stuff like that. I think it's only 5 years it's been there, right? But
Wow.
but it's all over the world. This is the easiest playing game, I reckon. My
Right.
friend Ethan, man, I'll get him Ethan on one of these and talking about it. But he's coming to see me on Saturday. That's tomorrow, right? I might actually have maybe do a little thing with him. I'm talking about this. Now, he's one of the original people who backed this, and from New Zealand. I mean, from our city, like all of New Zealand. He's one of the original people who are behind this, right? To support it, you know. And he started a little tournament thing. He started selling it. He's about to open up his own store, right? A gaming store. And so I'm there because we're close friends, right? He started this whole thing, his whole group thing, right? Gaming thing from my store way back in 2016, 2015, 2014. And here he is now able to, with his own motivation, his own love for the card gaming, he's got in here, right? I mean, he's able to support a New Zealand thing. And not only that, there's about 60 to 80 people in his group that play from every other week, right? And so I've been like, he's been at no charge to me, no charge to him, and supporting us at Plunge for the last 5 years, right? So I said to him, whatever support you want, we will support you, right? Because that's how brotherhood works, right? You support each other because you're not in competition. The moment you try to be in competition with your brother, that's when you get in trouble. All you got to do is you got to, hey, you do your thing, I do my thing. When I need your help, be there. When I need you, you be there. And and so yeah. So this New Zealand thing, man, I don't open them up. I just buy packs of them so I can keep it for my collection. So they come in boosters. If I can find them, because they're all over here in the cupboard. Booster packs and stuff. But so they're cheaper as well, right? You can play out of boxes. So I'll give you some links. I'll give you Ethan's link because it's a good way to get into a situation like that where you actually have a one degree of separation. So but he's opening his own store.
Being able to play out of one pack is the old way that Magic used to do it. Now it's I don't even know
so expensive, right?
Now.
Yeah, so expensive as well because I try to get Magic. I looked at all the licensing stuff. This is an easier way to get in than that.
Oh yeah, so
cool. So back to talking about toys. Sorry for the segue, but yeah.
I'm gonna go for what I've got this week.
Okay.
So I, as you guys know, I've worked with the club a little bit, and I'm not gonna open these. I know that I'm supposed to open something, but wait. I opened that other figure because it was actually sealed in a poly bag, so I opened it. But I got this in this week. So Super 7 just came back from San Diego Comic-Con, and they're doing some pretty amazing things with Super 7. Brian Flynn is quite the G.I. Joe collector, and I'm really excited to see where he's taking it. He actually they showed this huge airship that he's been wanting to do. It's like a massive airship. So I think at some point, Brian Flynn and Super 7 might actually topple over the USS Flag as far as the biggest playset ever made. Their Cat Slayer that they just come out with is amazing. They actually have a full scale Cat Slayer for 6-inch figures that is more like the cartoon show, and it's wonderful. They just released their cat. What is it? What's the tank called? Does anyone remember what the tank is?
I could have told you before you started bringing it up.
But that thing's like 4 feet. It's like 4 feet long. So this playset is huge. And I think it might actually topple over the Flag as the largest playset.
Wow.
So it's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. However, with Super 7, Brian Flynn is a G.I. Joe fan. And he does these really cool stuff like that. So I've been waiting to find these in the wild because I want to find them in the wild. And I actually found these, and here we go. I'm going to show you. I found those at, I don't know if it'll focus. There's too much glare. I bought them at $19.99 and I got them at GameStop. That's GameStop. But here's what I got. I got the MP Soldier. These are only 5 points of articulation, 5 POA. This is the MP Soldier from the cartoon show, from the reaction line. Down here is reaction line, G.I. Joe. So this is one of them that I got. And then the next one up is quite the gem. I've got Red Laser.
Oh, wow.
I got the Red Laser. I found him in the wild. And I'm super excited to get this figure. This is from
Is that like a limited edition, or is it hard to find? What's it? Why is thing saying wow? Why is Stu saying wow?
Because of the arc of this character, and this is what Brian Flynn calls a deep dive. So he doesn't make as many of these as he does the first figure I showed.
Yeah, that's the Action Force's main villain.
Yeah, one of them. This has a really unique history in G.I. Joe. This is actually Cobra Commander repainted to be Red Laser, is what this is. And that was a different character in the UK. And, the character's kind of, they're kind of unique, part of the Red Shadows. And it's a very cool figure. I've been wanting to get this one. This one's the top of my list. And then I got one more. To show, and this one I've been after because I've been after this one for a long time, and I'm so glad he did it. And this is another deep dive character. I go after the deep dive stuff. I try and get some of the troop building, but here we go.
Closer, please.
Shooter.
So this is Raven Pilot.
Oh, Raven Pilot. Oh yeah, that was from the second to last episode of the series. Yeah.
So this is another deep dive character. This is actually a pilot of the Night Raven. I'm glad they did this figure because it's a really amazing figure and interesting story arc. But again, Brian Flynn does these really wonderful deep dives like this. So I'm glad to have this one in my collection.
So I have to get her.
They are available on their website over at Super 7, as well as I've been wanting to get the dog sled team, but they're like $75 for the dog sled team. So I've got to make that money first.
So who is Super 7, right?
Super 7 is a toy producer. They do a lot of stuff. They do He-Man and everything. There's the Night Raven. That's what she pilots. Is that
ship in the show?
Wait. I think I have a small version of that I found that has missing parts and stuff. But do you remember Hook last year I showed you and you told me what it was or something? Maybe.
Yeah.
I like because I do hunts, right? I do what's it not trash dives, but I do thrift store dives, right? And so I've been able to find some interesting things in those dives, like this.
Oh, those are cool.
Yeah. These are like from, I have gosh, let me get this torch. I had to go find a torch so I could find this thing that was on the floor because I got gray carpeting. So this is a Nerf torch, right?
Oh,
so wow. let me just,
Papu.
Toy line.
Okay.
Yep. This is out of like maybe Germany. I'm not sure. Or it's out of Europe for sure. But yeah.
Oh, those are cool.
Yeah, man. Like especially if you're into like doing castle nights and stuff,
Oh yeah.
Carry on.
So what I actually brought something to open.
Mm-hmm.
I brought the newest G.I. Joe 6-inch line torpedo.
Nice.
So we can open him.
Yeah. Okay, let's have a look.
Then I got one more thing to open after that. So you want to look at him real quick?
Yeah.
He looks like. Got him from Hasbro Pulse.
Yeah.
And this is for my collection.
Who's Hasbro Pulse, by the way?
Hasbro Pulse is the collector site for Hasbro.
Right.
So, and I'm one of the few people that actually I do kind of like the plasticless boxes, because it's kind of a treat to open it up and see what you get, you know.
Well, the reason like a lot of people don't like it is because sometimes people would take the figure out and put something else in there.
Oh yeah.
And keep the good figure, and that's the complaint. So if I can't see in there, that means I don't know what I'm going to get. So I'm going to have a bit of issue with that.
Yeah.
You know?
So then they have like a Foot Locker with all the other stuff in it, then, huh?
Yeah. So this is
interesting.
This is all of his stuff that comes
right.
That's in this little Foot Locker.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
That's so clever. Yeah.
My thing is what they should have done is inside the box make it to be folded a certain way. You created an environment for your character, either a small diorama or something that they can interact with.
Right.
But they didn't do that. I mean, I figured that would have just been adding some art to your art and fold lines to your cardboard box. You know, I mean, look at this cardboard box. You know, instead of having this artwork in the background, have an aquatic scene, and then you can fold it. You can fold it differently and create a little bit of backdrop for them. You know,
right?
Yeah, that'd be some pretty easy engineering too. It wouldn't be challenging at all.
So he's pretty good articulated. You know, pretty well articulated.
I mean, if you have a really good quality printer, you could just print your own scene out, right?
Right. But I mean, that they from the get-go they were getting complaints on the windowless packaging.
Yeah.
And if they would have done that at the beginning, or if they would have showed that, maybe we'd still be having the windowless packaging. You know. Yeah. I'm not complaining that we're getting rid of it. I'm just saying if they would have just thought a little bit outside the box, they could have kept it going.
Well, so they came in a poly bag, Stu. Can you hold up that poly bag?
Yeah.
So all the goodies came in that bag.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that was inside the Foot Locker.
Yeah, all of his little parts and pieces came in this bag. So his parts and pieces, he's got his fins.
Right. So this is a character. Is it aquatic character, right? Thing.
Yeah, this is a Navy SEAL.
Oh, okay.
His backpack. He's got his respirator.
Yep.
He's got his little gun. And then it comes with a magazine for the gun, which is cool.
You're gonna have to hold it higher up, Stu.
Yeah.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, it's actually with a magazine. Serious.
Yeah. Yep.
That's awesome.
His harpoon gun.
Yeah.
You see it okay?
Yep.
So, and he's got a knife that he comes with. So yeah, it's designed that pretty much everything goes on him.
Yeah.
You know, so the knife goes in here, and there's no instructions. That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
It was kind of neat. There's no instructions on how to put this together. It's just intuitive. Just makes sense.
Right.
You know, put him together like that. Put the respirator on his head. Plug these little two things in the back here. Plug that in the back over here. If I can line it up. There we go. So yeah. And then
awesome.
You can hold. Yeah.
What's the price thing on those things?
So I'm at my shop. I'm selling them for $35.
Right.
If you order them directly from Hasbro or whatever, they're usually around 30 to about $30.
But you're still paying. But you still got to pay for freight, right?
Yeah, you still got to pay for shipping and all that stuff. So
right. Whether it arrives or not.
Yeah, I'm basically Hasbro shorted me on something the other day. Shorted me on one of my Indiana Jones figures. So here's the other one I got to open up. This is something that I ordered a little while ago.
Right.
I just hadn't gotten a chance to open it up.
That's a really cool figure, Stu. That was pretty awesome.
And it's
Really,
worth
really
it. And that's a cool thing. That's why I was saying, like, what's the price point? So for New Zealand, that'll be around about $50, right? Which is it's worthwhile for a figure of that quality.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't have a problem with the price point on the figure. My biggest gripe is them continually just putting out the same types of same figure.
Right.
So let me pull this out. So this I ordered just a little bit ago. Got a bunch of pieces and parts. It's my favorite. Yep. It's my favorite plane in the G.I. Joe line. I just wanted to get another one.
That's a Rattler. Is that a version 1? Is that a version 1 Rattler?
I've seen photos of that. That is so cool.
Version 1, really nice shape.
Yeah.
Missing a few pieces. So this is just the shell of it right now, but it did come with some pieces. Which, let me see if I can find a place to put this.
The Rattler was based off of the A-10.
Yeah, the A-10 Warthog.
Yep. Slow moving jet, slow moving plane. So you can, for ground cover, lots of ground cover.
But extremely good at ground coverage. Very, very good at ground coverage. So it came with some extra parts that I didn't need that it already had on it. That's kind of cool.
Sorry, what was that again? Show us, what was the extra thing?
So it came with its missiles, some of its bombs.
Oh wow! Does it come with a stand?
No stand.
Yeah.
No stand. It's missing the
the landing gear is broken.
Landing gear's broken, but they did give me the landing gear.
Right.
Sorry.
So is this like, did you buy it from the store or did you buy it privately, this one?
I bought it privately from somebody off of eBay.
Yeah.
I have about 8 of these Rattlers.
Okay.
So this is what it came with. This is how it came to me, and I'll show you a complete one. Let me show you a complete one. This one was on my shelf. This one's fully complete. I got the missiles in the bag here so that they don't get lost.
Mm-hmm.
But when you deck them out, you see the tabs on the bottom here. It just has tons of spots for missiles and bombs all the way across. It has all of its landing gears. Yeah. So this is literally my favorite plane that they came out with. I think it's even better than the Night Raven and the Sky Striker.
Yeah.
So,
awesome, man.
And it VTOL. It's a vertical lift.
So on this one, Stu, do you have the other cover plate? Because it came with 2 cover plates whenever you bought it.
On this?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. It came with the order today.
So what you could get is back in the day, this had changeable plates, and you can see that one's got a bunch of bullet holes in it. And you could put it without bullet holes on it.
Yeah. But whoever designed this really thought this through, right?
Yeah. They really did.
They sure did. I mean, I played for hours with this stupid little thing. You know, my pilot was working on this engine because he couldn't take off for some reason, so he had to take the panel off.
Yeah.
And the same with the back panel.
Yeah.
Back panel has as well.
I like the fact that the wings are like turned that way, like it's just so cool. It almost see, whenever I see toys like this, it inspires me to create things for my stories, right? When I'm like thinking like, what if we had the future army for New Zealand and they had that sort of thing going on, and because I think that's one of the things it's like that toys do for kids, right? Especially for boys. in this sense, like, because we're talking about boys' toys here, as male collectors, that inspires fantasy elements of creativity in your brain,
Well,
that you're able to come up and make stories and stuff.
what I like about this is if you ever watch video of the warthog in action, it is extremely scary. If I was a ground trooper and I saw one of those coming at me, I would be scared out of my mind. But then you add the element of it being able to just hover over top of you.
Yeah, that's the cool thing. Yeah,
that would be even scarier. You know, the ability to just hover over top of you and just continue to rain down fire. You know, so.
Now, Stu, does the original A10, does it have a gunner seat in the back like that? I don't remember.
No, it does not. It's just the cockpit here, and the wingspan. If this was the wingspan would probably be out to here. If you can see where my hands are. So the wingspan on the original A10 is quite a bit longer, and it only had the 2 motors, and those 2 motors were back here on the tail here.
Right.
But yeah, this is pretty much the same thing. This to me, in my story building, Cobra stole a bunch of A10 Warthogs,
right?
And decided to add an engine, to add a jet engine, and then move the other engines up here and create a vertical takeoff and landing system for their jets. So, so that in my play pattern when I was a kid is Destro or Cobra troopers would go and steal this plane, or would have stolen the American version of this plane, and created this.
Right. So this is a Cobra command figure, right? I mean, plane.
Yeah, Cobra. Yeah, this is a Cobra plane. Yes, sir.
Right. Like, I mean, when I only saw this sort of stuff when I was a kid, right, on TV every now and then. It wasn't my thing, so I just didn't get into it. But I remember seeing that plane.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
You know what's interesting about the whole line is that they were kind of approaching it like the razor blade idea, right? You know, that was how G.I. Joe was set up originally, and they continued that on with here. So if you bought the plane, you needed something for that plane to do. So then you had to go out and get figures to put in your plane or put in your stuff.
Right.
You know, so you had, you got the razor. Now you need all the razor blades. So that's kind of the way, and vice versa, right? You know, if you had a bunch of figures, you needed something for them to ride in. You got to have a machine. So, it built on that kind of play pattern, whichever way you wanted it to go. And that's kind of how the original G.I. Joe was too,
Right. Do you got anything else there, Stu? Otherwise, I'm going to talk about I finally got the wings on.
Nice.
Yeah.
I got one last thing I'll show you, and it's
awesome.
A figure I had opened already.
Let's get back on the full solo mode.
Give me 1 second. Put this back.
Right. So if you guys are just joining us, we have a Kickstarter on right now at Kickstarter.com. Search word Incredi-Girl. We have a all ages comic book, full color, with a lot of different variant covers, posters, even T-shirt. If we reach a certain goal, you'll get trading cards as well. So we're back with Stu. Please check it out.
So this is my all-time favorite character in all of G.I. Joe, and they made the 6-inch version. This is one I've been waiting for them to make since they started the line, and this is Shipwreck. And my goodness, man, what I can tell you about Shipwreck is his superpower is just luck. He really shouldn't be in G.I. Joe at all, but he just kind of lucks himself out of into situations. He's got bad luck and good luck. He he kind of trips his way into all of his adventures. So this one comes with his with an anchor, has a nice little anchor that you can pull off.
Higher, please. Oh, let me get rid of this.
See it?
Yeah, can you hold up a bit higher? No, your figure.
Okay.
There we go. To your left a bit. To your left a bit. There we go. Perfect. That way we can see you as well. Carry on.
So yeah, this is that's Shipwreck. It comes with that. Comes with Paulie the Parrot.
Right.
Paulie the Parrot can come off of there.
Yeah.
or
And the chest.
go on
Does
to
the chest come off as well, or the backpack, or side saddle, whatever?
what's the rope?
No, is that rope on his over his shoulder?
Yeah, that's rope over his shoulder. Yeah, that can come off.
Wow.
Yep. And he's got a pistol over here. It comes out.
Hey, remind me to send you a link later on where I saw a local auction with what is it called? Like all the side pieces, like little pieces from the extra pieces from G.I. Joe for sale
Oh,
that
nice.
you might be interested in. Just
So,
as
yeah.
missing pieces and stuff.
And that's
Carry
his
on.
that's his big pirate gun. And that's pretty much it, man. I was really excited about getting this figure.
Yeah.
What was it like? Why were you excited? Is it because it's limited edition? What's the deal with that?
No, he's just my favorite figure. I mean, he is.
Wow.
Like literally, imagine this is Jack Nicholson. This is the character is basically like Jack Nicholson in the Navy.
Okay.
All
right.
Right. A little bit of a womanizer, kind of likes the ladies, likes to get a little, into a little bit of fighting.
So for us guys overseas in the colonies, it's James Bond.
Kind of that way, but but he is not he's definitely not as trained as James Bond.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my big thing is like he just kind of lucks his way into things. He lucks his way in and out of things. It's never meant to be in the situation. Shouldn't be in the situation, but his luck is so good. G.I. Joe's like, well, we gotta kind of keep him in here.
Yeah. Awesome.
But we should probably wrap it up. We're right at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Let me tell everyone about our Incredi-Girl. Oh, go ahead.
Let me finish this off, and we've got one more piece that unwrapping that Gadu, and then we'll get into Incredi-Girl. Right. So as you can see, this is a huge piece. Like seriously.
Oh, it's huge.
Like a foot or something. I can't. Let me get a ruler so I can actually tell you how many inches it is once the wings are up. Right. This stands at 14. Let me see. That's 12. 12 there. 15 inches.
Wow.
If you have that, but if you go right up, probably about 16 inches. But that's pretty huge, right? And it's such a cool figure. Now, this week, by chance, well, last week I think I bought two items. Pretty cheap. I'm telling you, it's pretty cheap, right? So this is an old figure. I don't know when this pack here from Micro Machines.
All right.
Yeah. So I got this. I'm not going to open it because it's a bubble pack, and it's you can see what's in it, right? The other thing is that let me put that on solo, and you can see properly. So you can see here, one of the figures has dropped down. Whoops, that one there. Can you see him move?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So because of the window, so it's popped down from the window. So this is a Micro Machine Star Wars action fleet. Battle Pack 8, right? You can still find these, right? This is the Desert Palace, Jabba's Place. You can still find these. I bought this because, of course, it's the original Star Wars, right? Return of the Jedi. Am I on the right track there? It is a Return of the Jedi, right?
Yeah, Return of the Jedi was Jabba's palace. Yeah.
Cool. So I got that for like about $5 or something at auction. I don't think a lot of people knew what it was. I just bought it because I thought when I was a young, when I was in my 20s, I was living in Auckland, which is one of the major cities in North Island. Now, someone like me, not even in my 20s, when I'm 18, 19, I used to buy toys for my little brother and my sister, right? Because I was away for about 3 years from home. I'd moved out when I was like going in, when I just turned about to turn 17. So I went and started working in the factory, and I was earning like $6.50 an hour, $6.10, $20. And you know, for Christmas and birthdays, I used to go buy, you know, toys for my brother and sister. And so, because you know, when I was younger, I couldn't, you know, I didn't have anybody all the time buying toys for me. And I used to do the same for my niece and nephews. And my sisters are, you know, children. And so I bought that as a reminder of the micro machines. I used to buy that. So there's nothing to do with me, but I just thought it was Star Wars. It'll be cool to add to the collection for no reason apart from this, just Star Wars, but mostly because that period of my life and that work. So I thought this one was the same as that size. Can you see the size difference?
Oh,
Right?
wow. Yeah.
So when this thing arrived, oops, sorry for the glare, but when this thing arrived, I was surprised because they arrived together in a, you know, wrapped up in a box. I was surprised. I was like, oh, I didn't think it was that big. So I see it and I go, oh yeah, it's probably little bits and pieces in there. But as you can see, there's a little, you know, stormtrooper with the Millennium in the front here. And I'll show you as I pull it out. Right. This thing is right. Turn over. Oops, there goes the little. I think I've lost a little stormtrooper because that fell out. But I'm sure
he
I'll
already
find
went.
Yeah, it's on the floor.
Man,
but,
I so want that thing on a button, you know, where it goes. Oh gosh, that thing is okay.
Like I said, it's huge, right? See what I mean? Now, if I remember right, I paid $5 for this as well. Now, this comes with this, and I don't think it's ever been opened.
Nope, certainly hasn't.
No, it's not.
So
stickers, nothing's placed on it.
That is for this here, the gun.
Well,
right?
the radar dish does get knocked off a lot.
Yeah. So let's open that up, right? And let's put him in there. Actually, that's in the wrong place. I'm thinking more of this. Oh, okay. So let's go. I was wrong. It doesn't go there, right? But I mean, it kind of feels like it's something goes there. You know, maybe that's the gun. Yeah, I think I mean, you can see the gun, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it's a figure that's supposed to sit there, but so this one, whoops, that one goes in this hole here, and that's your what is that called? Radar.
Radar.
Is it the radar? Right. So now we're gonna give you the surprise. If I can. Oh, okay. So yeah, so you pull that.
Oh yeah.
How's that?
That's cool.
For $5 New Zealand, by the way, you know, when I'm saying $5, I mean New Zealand $5, right? Which is around about $3.50 US.
Wow.
Nice.
Right. So the most expensive part of this wasn't the toys, was the freight. Right. So, but look at this, man. The detail. This is a micro machine, right?
Yeah.
I love toy designers, right? And the idea that these guys know exactly what they're doing. They spend so much time, you know, detailing all the stuff in it.
Looks like you got a clear arm in the middle that you can put your Millennium Falcon on and fly through the environment.
You mean this?
Yep. You put your Millennium Falcon on that.
Yeah. So you get this little baby.
And then you got your stormtrooper wherever he went. And so you
The problem here is I gotta find places to put these you know, bigger things.
Yeah.
So he's flying around.
Yeah.
Like, and the trooper is right there on my left. Found him. Stormtrooper. So question is, where do I put the stormtrooper? I can put him anywhere, right?
Yeah.
So isn't that cool? Like, you know,
now
it's
I'm curious, Aru. Does that center is that battery operated, the center? There was an old toy that came out.
Yeah.
That was called Flying Louie or something like that. that basically it was it kind of just spun around in circles. I kind of wondered if that's kind of the same concept.
Yeah. So this is the instruction things, but also you've got the stickers that go on it.
Well, stickers are important,
right? So I tend not to put stickers on sometimes because they get damaged. But I mean, like they start coming off because the glue wears off or something, the stickiness of it. So yeah, so seriously, like it was only about just over $20 New Zealand, right? So you're looking about $15 US for the both of them. But like I said, I was friggin' surprised to see how big this was. I did not expect this to be that big, and to think that that's what it was. So it's a joy to have something open up like that, and you find it cost. The other thing I want to show quickly was, where are you, buddy? Oh yeah, this. Let me just this one.
Oh, nice. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so this is from 2007, I think. It says here it's 2007 release from Marvel Superhero Squad, Sentinel, and Wolverine. Now, I always wondered what series this came from, like this Wolverine, because I have a Wolverine, right? But I never knew what it came from.
Hero.
Hero Squad.
Well, they had a line.
Okay.
Hasbro had a whole line. It wasn't just Marvel. They did a bunch of them, but it was called oh gosh, now you're blanking on me. Hero Squad, Hero something.
You're not thinking Hero Clicks, are you?
No, Combat Heroes.
Hero Clicks is different. I've got
Combat Heroes. Well.
Combat Heroes. It was in GI Joe, but they were all kind of the exact same size. So
kind of had that baby look.
Yeah. They were going after that kind of thing. So Combat Heroes, it was in GI Joe, but there was a whole line of them. I don't know if it's. Let's see if Combat Heroes was just two.
So this hasn't been opened, so I'm going to open for the first time, right?
Oh, sweet.
So we can see what it is, and then we'll move on to Incredi-Girl. Right. So
I want to. I got a little guy that's got his own YouTube channel that he wanted me to promote, if that's okay. His name is Hugh. His Hugh McNamara. He's out of Orlando, Florida, but he's starting his own little YouTube channel. He's about 10 years old. Is HMac Productions. So if anybody can go check him out, check out his couple videos that he's got, would be great.
What does HMac do? What's his thing?
What's his thing? He likes right now. He just does pretty much any kind of little videos. He does things like eats a burger with pickles on it because he doesn't like pickles. He's right now at the Spirit Halloween main store in New York because he wants to see the animatronics that are going on in there. So
well, tell him to sub to us, and we'll do a sub back.
Yeah, no worries. No worries.
Tell him to chuck his link into this, into our comment section. Then we can follow him back through that. That'll be great. Whatever. We just want to inspire. Like I said to my nephew, right? He's about 16. He's very musically inclined. He's won awards by just being singing and playing, instruments or whatever. But he's a real good singer. So I said to him, listen, get videos on YouTube, right? Get your music out there, because then let the audience decide whether they like it or not. Whether you can make a career of this, you get to test it, right? So I'm into inspiring kids, man. I was going to say, well, come on here and we'll talk about what you're doing, sometime. Yeah. So I'm just going to open this up, and like I said, it's not been opened. Like, look at the sellotape ceiling all the way around. I'm sure I could leave it for another 10 years, make it, a buck or two extra on it, but that's not how I am rolling with these things now, because I've got an unboxing show, so I got to be unboxing, right?
That stuff. You know,
Right.
if it's
2 more minutes, and
if it's 5 years old, 1 year old, 3 months old, or 20 years old, you know, we got to unbox it. It's gotta happen.
Yeah, man.
Next show, I'm gonna be unboxing an original Sky Striker.
So I thought this was broken, like this was a piece broken or something, because it kept floating around. So I still don't know what that's of. But like, have a look at this background, right? So this is your Wolverine.
Yeah.
And then this is your whatever that is supposed to be, right?
This looks like a rock.
Yeah, but what's it doing in here? Right?
Wolverine needs that rock.
It's probably just a landscape thing for it.
So if I put him down here, and he's got then he's got the rock. Right.
Yeah,
this is hold on, maybe
it's
it goes over there.
No,
yeah.
no.
So,
Wolverine is between a rock and a hard space. Okay.
There you go. That's what he is.
I just remembered something before I proceed. A friend of mine, Carlos Ferreira, right? Carlos, he runs. He started, and I was one of the original group members that he reached out to join his New Zealand action and figure collection group on Facebook. So if you guys want to check that up, he said to me, because I showed this on the group yesterday, and it said that I'm going to open it up on this show, on our channel, and he wanted to know what's the difference in size. Oops, Spider-Man fell over. Between a Marvel Legends, so I'm going to go large so he can see it as well when he pops in there sometime, and and this figure. His question was that. So what is the difference in that size? So there it is, buddy. Right. So there's Zemo with that. That's a size difference. Not, it's quite a big body on that. And then of course there is I can't remember her name. I'm sure one of you guys will know, but that's a Marvel character.
Psylocke.
Sorry?
Psylocke,
yes. Right. So Wolverine and Psylocke are friends for Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can see size there. So it is quite a big, dominating size there with this character. So now they come with ties, and I have a beef with plastic ties. I really do. I have a real beef with plastic ties when it comes to toys, because that's more like people complain about being more plastic in in the oceans and stuff. So I don't think this, unlike the, what would you say, the come on.
Now Hasbro actually passed after these toys came out, they passed an initiative to actually trim back their plastic footing.
Yeah.
And this is why we're seeing what you just opened being in cardboard versus what you're opening now being in a polyblister. Yeah,
well, I mean, there's no reason for the body shape of this card, right? That doesn't have to be plastic, right? I don't have a problem with plastic. I mean, plastic is plastic, right? But if you really are going to be that whole, environmentally friendly, just use paper. Do a paper, box. Like you can actually do, those recycled paper that you can shape into the shape of the plastic you want. Same thing, press it into that. Don't try to tell me that straws will destroy the planet. Tell me the bigger plastic will, do it. But so what I was going to, before I break something, what I was going to say is see the ties here. So they come with these little ties that hold them in place, this.
Those are annoying.
Yep. So there is not really any need for that, but I mean, this is much better than what I saw on the I'm not sure, McFarlane toys. They're much thicker, right? So there's more spent on that. So I thought more plastic in there. These are a bit better. This is one of the older sizes, but seriously.
What's interesting about that is Hasbro and Mattel. Oh, very cool. Nice back.
Yeah, but you have to rip it out, right? It's stuck. It's glued to it. So the pack is actually glued to it, so that you can't reuse it too well. Yeah. So that's a bit of a shame on that. So carry on, bud. What were you saying, Hawk?
That that what's funny about that is Mattel also made commitment to make sure that they weren't going to be using more plastic, so they went to like paper ties and things like that, right?
Yeah.
So there we are. We've got plastic ties
but it's
now.
very thin. But it's very thin compared to some of the ones that I've seen. This is really good. This is like half the amount of plastic that I've seen on others. But the problem here is they could have only used this much to tie it up, right, on each arm. That's a waste, right? So that's what I mean. So you know, that when they were doing these things in the day, they weren't thinking about the environment as such. But you know, it is what it is. So there is a figure there. Where is my Wolverine? Sizes between the Wolverine and the Sentinel. This is probably my first Sentinel, and that'll probably be my, you know, unless I find some cheap one.
Oh,
I don't really
no. You're going after that Sentinel. You're going to buy Stu's Sentinel.
Well, it's too big for me. He can just send it to me. It's kind of his kindness of his heart, right?
Yeah, as long as you send me a check for about $1,000 out of the kindness of yours. I take Venmo too.
See, a friend of mine this week said, like, you know, do you want this for $100, right? So, and like, it was a Batmobile. He knows I love Batman. Like, seriously, if you look behind me, I've been like, I've spent 4 hours this week alone setting up this thing.
Oh wow!
Right, this is my Batman wall, right, and it's going to go in there as well. And there's a lot more stuff to go in there. But like he said to me, I've got two Batmobiles, $100. I said, listen, man, I don't go for any toys more than $50 on a single toy. It has to be very exceptional for me to buy that, because I don't chase after toys, right? If I see something I like, that's it. Mm-hmm. If I don't like it, I'm not going to go out of my way to pay for it. Like this, man, I just, you know, put a bid on it and the bid won. I wouldn't have been too worried if I didn't get it at all. Right. But I got it for a cheap price and I'm happy, you know? Yeah. So that's me there. So that's my two openings, because I don't want to open the other ones. So there you go. And of course, our first figure that I promised last week to put together, there he is, Jokerbot. And of course, the head turns around. I was a bit, you know, miffed at the back, but so you got like earlier, because I didn't think it would, you know, I wanted to switch the arms around, but you got to have the arms where that is. And you've got the head switches around, so you can have Joker or Batman, Jokerbot. Beautiful figure. This is how high it is compared to the normal figures. Twice because of the wings. So it's about, yeah, that's 14. These are like about 12 inches, something like 6 inch, about 14 inches when you have it right up. So thanks, guys. So that's the toy thing. And of course, do you guys got anything else? Do you have anything to say before Hawk goes and talks about Incredi-Girl Kickstarter? Stu, do you want to plug anything else?
Yeah. Just come into 1.21 gigawatts comics, toys, and nostalgia if you're here in Borger, Texas. You know, I will help you scratch that nostalgia itch. Got a ton of comic books. Got some new comic books coming in, and of course, we got a ton of toys as well.
Yeah, so. and of course, the other thing, guys, you'll see if you're there, you'll see Greg Harms. Greg Harms turning up. You'll see Hawk from Resident Comics turn up. I don't know what you guys got planned for that store, like comic book wise, but I mean, like, you got so many talent in that little area that they can pop in and, you know, do some sort of promotion things, or, you know, do some sketch cards, stuff like that. Like, that's what I like about comic shops. Comic shops are a vibrant heart and thing for a community, for good things to happen. So you can bring writers, all the stuff together that is part of the pop culture to inspire kids, to show them, you know, what they can do with their doodles, that you're doodling around. Like, I'm one of the kids that used to doodle around, right, all the time, just doing silly things like this one here with this. I used to draw this thing all the time, right? Metallica, Megadeth, all the time, draw the skulls and stuff, right? And now I have a character that has a skull mask, which is a vigilante called Red Dot. We're going to be I wrote a script last 2 years, and now as soon as I get an artist, we're going to put that script out into a comic book. this is how things work. If you're a real kid, you need to go into a place where it inspires you, and there's people there to help you, figure out stuff that for your future. You got, like, if Greg Hahn walks in there and you see him there 40 odd years old, 50 years old, whatever age he is, drawing, and he will be able to tell you, this is how long I've been drawing, kid, right? And this is what my life's experience has been as an artist, and this is who I do stuff for. Now this is how much I get paid. You right now as a kid have 5 years to get your act together to be a better artist and really learn something, And like I said to my nephew, learn business, learn maths, learn how to do digital drawing as well as physical pen paper drawing. That's all you need to know if you want to get into comics. Right. Okay. Take it away, Hawk. Let me put the website up. Give me a second. I'm going to put you on solo, and I'm going to put the website up. And you've got 5-10 minutes to do your thing.
Okay, I'm going to give it a shout out to the sun. Thank you for this multi-toned, skin painting that you got me here. Let's talk about Incredi-Girl. So where are we at in Incredi-Girl? We are at 62%. We've got
wow,
62%. That's right. We're at 62% right now. That is, we have $558 US on a $900 goal. So we're almost at our $600 marker. And we have several tiers are still open. Let's jump down here and let's give a shout out to those backers, because I love doing that.
Give me a sec here. I'm going to put the website up. I should have done that right at the start. My bad. All right.
So from the last time we talked, I think was the 20th, right? So we had Life's Balance, 22. Thank you for your pledge. Really appreciate that. It helps. Everything helps. Brian Melicon, thank you so much for your pledge. Stephanie Kilpatrick, thank you. And Moni I might slaughter this name. I don't know. Moni Gurdry. Moni Gurdry. Thank you for your pledge. So those are the new pledges that we've got in the last week. Thank you for helping us see this through and make this quite the project. We still have some of the big tier slots are still open for anyone that's interested. I think that we still have we still have a all-in backer spot for that exclusive talking role inside the book and the half-page ad. That is still available for $150. Where am I at? Here we go.
I'm getting there. Sorry, apologies. So this one here we were talking about, or is the next one?
Oh, it's that one right there. The $150 tier, $150 tier, and now we're on to the $100 tier, which is our Black Diamond tier. There are still 4 of those left, and that'll also get you drawn into the book. It won't be a speaking role, but you will have your appearance in the book. There is so those 2 tiers are still we have one left on the all-in tier and one left on the Black Diamond tier, right, to get you into the Incredi-Girl universe. And so there's plenty of spots still to fill. I think we still have some of those in there. So I think we're good. So please come and back us on the campaign and help us see.
Make a little Kiwi fly, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Make a little Kiwi fly. One thing we want to mention about this tier, the $150 tier, that's the US. You actually get a half-page space to talk about yourself, your whatever you want to do, talk about your comic book, promote your comic book, advertise your business or whatever business you run, within the conditions. This is an all ages book, right? So we were promoting this for kids. Now I've noticed that there isn't that many like this book, right? Where it's promoted especially for kids. So like we could put a adult cover on this and it would sell lots. but I decided not to do that. I even had a person say that last year. Why don't you do that? You know, put a risque cover. And I said, no, this is aimed for my little 4-year-old niece, 2007. She is now 18. All right. So I'm not looking at this as something to make a quick buck on. This is, if I did, I'll do the next book. Right. But like, this is for all ages, that you can be, you know, you can just give it to anyone, be okay with it. Right.
And and with this half-page ad, what a great way to promote your upcoming Kickstarter campaign or anything else that you've got that you can automatically just plug in and off you go for that 150.
Or just plug a book that's already out. Right. Oh, yeah. So here, I've got this already out. We already think, but now it's in the stores or it's going to conventions, or just talk about yourself. Like, hey, I'm an artist. This, you know, reach me here. This is my website. You know, this is. Look, this is the new world we live in, right? Where we can reach on a global stage, right? Not just your little community. You can reach on a global stage right now, like we're doing with this. We're reaching everybody in the world. We're promoting on every friggin' group page that we can think that's got indie comics involved with it. We're doing it on Twitter. We're doing it on Facebook, right? Social, like Instagram. You know, YouTube, right? So I think this is the new world we live in. There's been never as much access to the fan base as we have now, right? This is the greatest time to live in the world, as far as I'm concerned. It's the best time. It's the greatest time to live in the West. Enjoy the freedoms. You know, buy what you want. You know, and do what you want within the limits of your laws. And I think it's great. And I think. Thank you for supporting our book. You know, there's so many. You want to talk about the covers?
Yeah, we can talk about those covers.
Yeah,
we can talk about them for certain. So we've got plenty of covers to roll through here. We have our A cover, which is done by Kevin Zimmerman. A beautiful. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the interior artist. So this is the artist of this. You know, this is his artwork here. Interior art.
That's a pretty standard Rising Sun thing. Usually the interior artist gets the A cover, you know, and we go from there. So we try and, you know, that gives them a chance, you know. So that's pretty standard. You know, and then we have our B cover, which is a version of that Kevin Zimmerman art.
Yeah,
and then so this one is without any markings on it. There's no the logos are gone, so you can basically just board and bag this and hang it on your wall if you really want it.
Yeah. So if you want something just for something with no lettering on it, it does have a little print at the top, right? I think which state this is Incredi-Girl text, but I think I might leave that off as well because you already know what it is when you see it. So it's nice to have something with no words on it. And I love that sort of stuff, to be honest. I like to collect those things, covers, because it just means it's just the art, right?
Oh yeah. So, and then we have our C cover, which is by Shane. I believe Shane did this.
Yeah, New Zealand artist
New Zealand artist. So our C cover is by Shane. And you know, he's worked on several of them. Shane was actually working on Red Dot as well. That you talked about.
Yeah, Shane's actually a close friend of mine. He works with us with Punch. He has just, created his own book called Chronicles of the Wasteland. All right, kind of like that whole Mad Max scene, and he's put that out, and it's been very well. What is it called? When people like it.
Well received.
That's the word, well received. And, he's got 2 more to put out. I'm quite excited. I've got a couple issues here somewhere. It's just it's everything and, bunched up. So I've got to find it, but I will find it for next week to show off. But he's a great artist. He does commissions. He does paintings. He did this. I was lucky enough because he knows I love Judge Dredd. I was brought up on Judge Dredd, right, as a kid. We actually had, if you've ever read Judge Dredd 2000 AD, there's a series in there with robots, and I'm excited because we're doing a robot series called Robot Nation. It's a comic book, going back to my 80s period. But so we come from like all New Zealanders, right? All the colonies, right? British colonies got 2000 AD. So he knows I love this. So I got this as a present. This is a skateboard for Christmas, right? I was a huge surprise. So you can see that he's got a very unique art style, and he's done a lot of Incredi-Girl. He gave her gave her this look. We worked on the artwork for, get a character right for a while. But you'll notice this is this is the traditional look of her costume. So if you look at the new one, right, the new one's very different. And that costume was created with a cosplayer, close friend of mine named Lynette, who does cosplay for this, Stu.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she does cosplay for this, and so she's a huge part of the community, like with Feb, Flesh and Blood Gaming, and she's got her own channel where she interviews cosplayers and gamers on that. So I've asked her to come on our channel to talk about that. So it'll be great to have her and as well as Ethan Eats to come and talk about the game.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So
then what we've got is we got that Shane Evans cover, which is our D cover, which is another virgin. None of that artwork on it.
Yeah.
So
none of the lettering on it.
None of the letter. I'm sorry. I apologize. None of the lettering on it. You wouldn't want to cover without any.
Yeah, I was about to say, man, that's really brave to do the cover without any artwork on it.
Well, they do that, they do what is it called?
Sketch covers.
Yeah, sketch covers where there's nothing on it, and then you get to go up to your, whoever and get it done. Get that done. So I'll show you one if I can get this over here. Right. Sorry for the noise, guys.
No worries.
I'm still in the middle of trying to clean up my area, right? So here is a Incredi-Girl sketch cover that we did as part of a local web series thing. Let's hope I don't break anything, but I'm.
All right. Well, you're doing that. Well, you're checking that
Here
out.
Here you go.
There it is.
Yeah. To carry on.
Okay, so we've got that Shane Evans, the Virgin cover. We have a wraparound cover, complete wraparound, also done by Shane Evans. That's part of the lot. We have
this cover, right? This is a very, very interesting cover. You're probably thinking, why do they have the black rectangle on there, right? So this cover, I don't know. We didn't want to put it out there on the Kickstarter. It is out there somewhere online, but on the Kickstarter, I don't want it because I want to hide the spoiler character that's on there that appears in the comic, but is a spoiler, is a very important character as part of this comic book series. So I don't want to show that off yet, and I just that's why it's there. All right, guys, just want to let you know that's why that character is there. That box is there.
Okay, so then up next we've got a couple foil covers. So we're going to talk about our foil covers that we've got set. So we've got an F foil spot variant. So the spot variant, the art was done by James Hill, and we are going to do a spot variant on this. This will be a 2-spot variant, probably the red and the blue. Will be.
I think I did the colors on this.
Do what?
I think I did the colors on this one.
So this is going to be a spot variant. Won't be a full variant, but a spot. So this is going to be our cover F, and then our next cover up will be a full variant cover, which will be our G cover, which is this one, and so this will be a full variant. The whole thing or a full foil. I'm sorry, the whole thing will be a foil cover, and they're also done by James Hill. And
my colors
and the Ruse colors, and I believe that's going to get us all the covers that we have in the lineup for this one. Am I missing any? I don't think so.
That's all the covers, and then we got the poster, right?
And we've got a couple posters, but let's save that for our next time because we got a couple more. Here's our poster. We'll talk about that a little more next time, and we're gonna. As we're promoting our Kickstarter to the end. We've only got 10 days left. 10 days, that's it. and then this campaign is done. So please help us get Incredi-Girl funded so that we can get this book out and in the hands of all those people that are reading and get it all over the
other
world.
thing I was going to mention is that we have a digital, right? A lot of people were asking, do you have a digital? I know there's some people like don't want to pay the extra for they want to read it, right? But they don't want to pay the extra for freight, and sometimes it can be quite expensive. So we put out a black and white only digital release for this. So this is kind of unique. You get, if you buy the physical version, you get the full color. With you get the digital unique, you get a black and white cover. I mean, black and white series.
Okay. All right. Well, let's and we're going to talk about that, I think, again in the next round as well.
Yeah.
So let's leave everyone here tonight, and let's call it in. Yeah. And please come back our campaign, and we will talk to everyone real soon, right? So
yeah. So thank you guys for joining us today. If you like the video, like and subscribe. Definitely subscribe. Please click the notify button on all our upcoming videos. We've basically got guests like almost 2 to 3 times a week on this channel now. I put the invite out and people are like, yeah, in my DMs and stuff on Twitter. So we've got some really unique, creators coming on board. We've actually, there's some interesting projects coming up. So, it's I want to invite you guys, if you're in the indie comic scene, right? If you're a writer or an artist or creator, writer, whatever, you're welcome to come on here, right? We've got 3 comic book channels that we do, like series we do. We do the Plunge Cast, which for all ages, right? We don't do any swearing or anything like that on there. It's for children. We market it to children because it's for that, to inspire them. The other one is Plunge X, which is for grown up, mature content, so you can put out your mature content and talk about your mature content that you got coming out. So you don't have to worry about, what you say and stuff or what you show. That's what of course, this one, as you know, is toys, collecting, and unboxing. So we got guests coming up for that. Like next week, got a couple more guests coming up, and there's more each week we're going to do. This show is only once a week. The other one, with comic creators, 2-3 times a week we do that. Now, one of the amazing things that I've been able to do yesterday, which was surprise, I was watching a live Nedrotic of Jeremy, who used to own a comic store, has now moved from California to Florida. He has a huge following online, right? And on there, a couple of years back, maybe a year and a half back, I used to watch Chris Gore. He's a personality now because of his interviews on a YouTube channel called Film Courage, where they talk to people who are in the film industry about all that stuff. Now I've got Chris Gore. He used to be on Attack the Show, which is G4, wasn't it? Like, is that what it was called back in was it G4, right? Yeah. I have Chris Gore from Film Threat coming on in about a week and a half on the 5th of maybe is it next week, right? 5th of August. I just sent him a message on that channel, right, while I was watching YouTube, put in there, hey Chris, hey Film Threat, would you come on our podcast? Then I got the email from his, Film Threat, sent it within about half an hour to an hour. I got an email back saying, tell me more about it. And I was like gushing, because this guy for me was someone like that I thought was, in the film thing, right, really high up, and he would reply it. And then we back and forth, within a day. Today, I got to confirm that, yes, we've got him on exactly that time. I missed out something on his email because I got too excited. And then he said, hey, tell me, have a look back at what I'm asking you. And I said, okay, sorry. Got too excited, mate. Because, I didn't expect him to like reply that soon, or even like say, yeah, because I've done that with other people and they've didn't even reply that I was looking up to. And I thought, this is cool. He's in the independent movie thing, right? He's in the independent scene, and he loves to promote that. He's talks about like what is going on wrong with heroes now, why 99% of the movies out now suck, and he gives you the reason. Plus, he promotes movies. He gets directors and created, film people on his on the film threat thing, and they talk to the actual film. As you guys know, I have a film background, digital filmmaking, right? And so I am very passionate about that scene. Because of my accident, I had to stop because I couldn't stand up longer than a few hours. And as you know, when you're in the film thing, you're walking around doing stuff all the time. So I couldn't do that. So I ended up deciding I'll do comic books. And that's why I'm here now, from 2007 to now, doing comic books, where I really wanted to get into filmmaking. But hey, it's another form of storytelling, right? All I wanted to be in my life was be a writer, and I'm writing comic books. Doesn't matter if I'm not doing film, I am writing comic books.
Amen, bro.
And that's why I invite you guys to come on the show. Carry on.
Okay. So that's absolutely right, Aru. You keep plugging, you're writing, you're still working on the stories you want to tell, which all of those could be adapted into movies, and rewritten into those kind of formats. You probably already have them in those kind of formats. I know this because I've looked in his folder. So, but we should probably wrap it up. We're about 2.5 hours.
Today.
So that's plenty good today. So please jump onto the Kickstarter and support Incredi-Girl, and let's get it over the line. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for joining us, and I think that's it. I think we can say good night, and I will see everyone next time.
Thank you, Stu.
Thank you, man.
Love having you here, man. And come on anytime. And
anytime you want me on, man, I just tell me I need to be here. I'll be there if I can.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
He's a little like Mr. Rogers, but kind of like the cool side of toy collecting. Mr. Rogers, don't know who's going to roll through his shop there.
Awesome. Yeah, guys. So once again, like and subscribe. Hit that notify button on all the different interviews coming up, man. We've got some amazing people. So thank you for following us. Thank you for jumping in and watching. I know it's a bit long. We don't usually go this long. We stick around about 2 hours. But even for this show, it's double the time that we just do about half an hour to an hour. But thank you. I love having this conversation. I love showing off our toys that we got. It's just in finishing. Thank you. If you are a toy collector out there, you're welcome to come up on the show. If you're on YouTube right now, go to About. You'll see our email address. Hit in there and tell me what you're about, what you're collecting. We'll bring you on. So thank you, guys. Thank you to my my friends here. My new friend Stu from 121 Gigawatts there in Borgia. Thank you to get out to that store. If you're in Texas, support your local stores, man. Support your local comic stores. That's where they help us get our books out, right? Yeah. We can't survive without stores. Of course, we sell online as well on risingsuncomics.com, but we want to support the stores as well. So thank you, guys.
And 1.21 gigawatts is your home for Rising Sun Comics and Third Empire as well.
That's right.
Awesome.
We are set up there. So all right.
There you go. That's the name. You can get them on Facebook right now and talk to them about stuff. So thank you, guys. Ka kite anō. See you next time. Bye from New Zealand, Whangarei, and bye from Texas from my two friends there. We'll see you next time. Like I said, follow, like, subscribe.
Later, y'all.
Later.